What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog back with another New York Yankee video, if you want to call it that. Do me a favor, hit the like button. It helps the video out big. Hit the subscribe button. Last time we did a Yankee video, we got a ton of subscribers. Thank you so much to all new subscribers. We're so close to 100,000. We're like 250 away. So hit that subscribe, share it out with a friend. Let them know. You don't need to turn your headphones down. I'm not going to scream and yell in this video because at this point, reality is just setting in and it's depressing more than anything. I'm beyond the point of being angry at the team. Look at how old this shirt is. Can you see it? You see this? This was a real team. The 1998 Yankees were comprised of real ball players, guys that knew how to play the game. The 1998 Yankees, not put together by Brian Cashman. Not. Brian Cashman gets zero credit for that dynasty. Zero. I know he took over in 98. Don't matter. The team was already constructed. Bob Watson, Gene Michael, they get the credit. They built the team, not Cashman. When Cashman started coming in here and throwing all this money around, they couldn't win a World Series. When they finally won another one in 2009, he went out and spent $500 million on Teixeira, Sabathia, and A.J. Burnett. And the core four were still there: Posada, Jeter, Pettit, and of course, the great Mariano Rivera. So the core four that Cashman had nothing to do with, still there. Brian Cashman is completely clueless. He's an idiot. I've said this time and time again. He has no idea how to construct a ball club. This New York Yankees team is pathetic. It is, and it's been pathetic for quite some time. Getting absolutely embarrassed tonight by the Toronto Blue Jays. And, last night you thought, maybe they get a nice come from behind win. Maybe they build some momentum. The guy that Brian Cashman comes out and trades for, Frankie Montas, gives up 5 runs in the first couple of innings of the game, and the Yankees are already down 5-0. And the Yankees are consistently inconsistent. Why? Because of Brian Cashman and his stupid analytical department that have no idea how to use analytics. They're a part of baseball, but they don't know how to use them. You do not build teams on home run hitters alone. I will say that till I'm blue in the face. You don't do it because hitting home runs are very hard. You have to find ways to score, other ways to score runs. That's why I'm like, how does batting average not matter? Where the hell did they get this batting average doesn't matter? I remember back in the day, striking out was a source of embarrassment, hitting 200 source of embarrassment. Nowadays, it's just become commonplace, especially with this team. Pitchers aren't going to walk 6 guys in a row for you to score runs, and they're not going to give up home runs all the time. So when you get base runners on, you're going to have to find a way to get them in, and that's by getting hits. And when you get a base hit, your average climbs. So building a lineup with a bunch of 220 and 210 hitters that have 20 home run power is not the way you're going to win any games. You'll mash your way to games. You'll mash your way to 90 wins, 95 wins in the regular season against bad teams and bad pitching. But when you get into the postseason, you have to face good pitching staffs. You will lose those games. That's why the Yankees haven't been to a World Series since 2009. Because dumbass Brian Cashman has no clue how to build a team, and they have no clue how to draft prospects. Because as I've said again, the last 10 years, they've had one prospect come up here and produce. That was Aaron Judge. That's it. All the other prospects either get buried in the minor leagues, traded away, or they end up being absolutely nothing. That falls on Brian Cashman. He is an absolutely horrible relic of a GM that has no idea how the modern game is played. So as long as this guy is in charge, as long as this clown continues to run things, the Yankees are not winning a World Series. It will not happen. They are not built to win World Series. They're built to win about 90 to 95 games in the regular season. Maybe get out of the ALDS. They're not built to win a World Series. They're not the Dodgers. They're not the Astros. Hell, they're not even the Mets. You see how the Mets built their team? You see how the Mets actually have some guys that hit for high average? It's okay to have some guys that hit 225 with a lot of power. But you see how the Mets have guys that also hit for average like Jeff McNeil. You see how the Mets went out and got Max Scherzer. You see how the Mets went out and did what George Steinbrenner used to do, go after the most talented free agents, the most talented trade options, no matter what it took, because you don't know what your minor league players are going to be. You do know what these guys have done at the major league level? I guarantee you George Steinbrenner would have got Luis Castillo. He would have done everything he could. He would have done everything he could have done to get Juan Soto here. But Hal Steinbrenner's cheap. He's going to keep Cashman around because Hal Steinbrenner don't care about baseball. Knows nothing about baseball. It's pretty obvious. Just cares about the bottom line. Brian Cashman certainly knows nothing about building a team either. He's never built one. Like I said, most of the teams in 2009, a lot of that team was already constructed. He went out and he spent a ton of money, and anybody could do that. I've said before, the Yankees would be a pathetic team if they didn't have all the money that they have to spend. That just shows you Brian Cashman would be an absolutely horrible GM in a place like Oakland, a place like Miami, a place like Tampa, a place like Pittsburgh. Teams with lesser bankrolls than the New York Yankees. The only reason the Yankees are even relevant with this guy at GM is because they have a ton of money and they can pay their guys, or they can pick up a Giancarlo Stanton, pay his salary. They can give Garrett Cole $324 million or whatever he got. They can give really, really bad contracts like Jacoby Ellsbury, 7 years, $155 million or whatever it was. Then the guy doesn't need to play, and the Yankees can bury that contract because it doesn't hurt their bottom line. It doesn't hurt them. They can pay Kei Agawa 4 years, $46 million, and he could be a double-A pitcher his entire career. The Yankees are paying a double-A pitcher $46 million. You can pick up stupid contracts like Jarrett Wright and Carl Pavano, and it never matters because they can just bury the money, but they're not winning ball players. The Yankees do not know how to go out. Brian Cashman has no idea what a professional ball player is and how to win a championship. No clue. Just looks at a home run power. Oh, we got to get this guy in here. He hits home runs. Got to get this guy. It doesn't matter if he hits 220. The Yankees could have went out and signed Freddie Freeman. They picked up Anthony Rizzo. And Rizzo was good at the beginning of the year, but looks like he's swinging a pool noodle right now. 2 years, $32 million for a guy that's hitting 220 with power. That's what the Yankees do. They go out. They could have had Carlos Correa. And instead, the Yankees get fleeced, and they end up picking up Josh Johnson, who makes $25 million a year. 2 years, $50 million. Yankees got to pay that guy. 220 guy with power. And he hasn't even hit for power this year. The Yankees don't field well. Throwing the ball all over the park. Not to mention, let's not forget Aaron Hicks, 7 years, $70 million. Let's not forget that one. That's a fantastic contract, ain't it? The guys can't hit for average. They can't hit with men on base. They don't play fundamental baseball. They make tons of base running errors. They make tons of errors in the field. All of that is a reflection of how they're an inconsistent ball club and a reflection of their manager, which again, that is Brian Cashman choosing Aaron Boone to be the manager and giving him an extension when we all know Bubbles Boone don't know what the hell he's doing. The Yankees completely played over their head the first 3 months of the season, but that's the problem. When you are a home run hitting team, when you're hitting home runs, you can look unbeatable, but you cannot continue that pace. It does not happen. Just because you hit for high average doesn't mean you're not going to hit for home runs. The 1998 Yankees, I think they were fourth in the league in homers, but I said this in the beginning of the year, and this is the part that Michael K plagiarized from my video and pretty much put it on his channel. I said the New York Yankees hit I forgot how many less home, like 100 less home runs in 98 than they did in 2021, but they scored 250 less runs because the 1998 Yankees knew how to score runs outside of hitting the ball out of the ballpark. This team has no clue because Brian Cashman continuously brings in these players that do not have a clutch gene in their body, that do not have a winning attitude, that do not have any leadership. There's no leader on this Yankee team. There's no leader. In 96, 98, 99, that group of Yankees, there was a ton of leaders. Tons. Jeter, Brocious, Tino, O'Neill, Posada, you name it. Coney. They were leaders. They were all leaders. And if something was wrong, they policed it themselves. There's nobody to take accountability in that locker room for the New York Yankees. There's nobody to get these guys together and say, we got to get it together. I've heard of no players-only meetings where they have a players-only meeting and they look each other in the eye and they're completely bummed with one another and say, you got to do better at this. You got to do better at this. I got to do better at this. We got to do better at this as a team. We have to get it together. If it wasn't for last night, the Yankees hit 3 homers last night. They scored 7 runs on 3 home runs, which means they scored 1 run without a home run. You cannot win ball games on a consistent basis like that. You cannot win ball games on a consistent basis with guys constantly swinging for the fences. And until this idiot Brian Cashman is out of the front office and we get a real GM, a younger GM that understands how analytics actually work and can use them to their advantage, especially with the Yankees bankroll, the Yankees aren't winning anything important. They may win the division. They may make the wild card. They may win an ALDS. But yes, we're spoiled Yankee fans. And when you are the Yankees and you have all the money and all the resources that they have, you should be competing for World Series. You should have at least been there in the last 13 years. But it looks like another wasted season. Again, unless the Yankees somehow do another 180, but I'm telling you, this is probably more like the team that they really are as opposed to the first 3 months of the season. A lot of Yankee content creators are not happy with what Brian Cashman did in the offseason. A lot of us bitched and moaned about it, and we look kind of stupid after the first 3 months, but this is starting to rear their ugly head. That's why I say, man, baseball's a marathon. It ain't a sprint. The Yankees are crawling to the finish line. Like they have, they've exhausted themselves by mile 18. They're running on fumes at this point. So as long as Brian Cashman's in charge, I'm sorry, but I don't think the Yankees are winning a damn thing. And we'll see. But I think that after this season, with the way this is finishing, Hal Steinbrenner and company really need to take a look at the front office and need to do some shaking up because moving players around ain't getting it done here. Anyway, that's all I got in this video. As always, if you made it this far, you're an unbelievable legend. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it out with a Yankee friend. And of course, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think below. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I will be live 24 straight hours starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. See you then. Bad Diggy Dizzle. I'm out. Peace.